Hi guys, this is Sarita. I'm having around 12 years of experience in this testing field. Uh, s- I have given a lot of trainings also, and today I'm going to explain you about the testing. So first we will see the roadmap of a full stack QA. So what is mean by full stack QA? So full stack QA, which is going to be used for the automation purposes. So in the automation testing now we are going to be used with the AI. So artificial intelligence now has as rapidly increases in every field of IT department. So in the testing also we are going to be using the AI tools like Git Copilot, ChatGPT. We have a lot of AI tools which we are going to be implementing in our automation purposes. So before going to know more on this testing side, first we will discuss what is testing. Then we will discuss what are the syllabus I'm going to cover during this uh, training. So first, everyone know what is mean by testing, I think. So testing is nothing but in a general terminology, we can say that testing is nothing but it is identifying the problem is nothing but the testing. So what is the problem? So problem is nothing but with to use any application which is creating some problem to use that applications, or it is blocking our work to complete the task. So that is nothing but the problem. So in the testing also we are going to be called it as a bug. So we are going to be calling it as a bug. So testing is a process of identifying the bugs in the software testing. So software testing can be happen in the two ways. So testing can be happen with the manual testing as well as automation testing. So manual testing is nothing but a look and feeling of that application, and we are interacting with the application manually. We are checking that application. Automation means nothing but we are using some external tool which is to do our things very fastly. For example, I can give a small example here. I'm using a cardboard. On cardboard I have fixed a nut. So to remove that nut by hand, what are the problems I'm going to face it? It is will take time. I can't give the assurance that I can able to remove it or not. So it needs lot of uh, manual effect also. If I'm using some external devices like screwdriver or cutting blade, so I can remove it quickly. So here I'm going to save the time also. That's why every company nowadays, every company is preferring the automations to do the things very fastly. We are going to be using the automations tools. So similarly, the software testing is going to be rapidly increasing day by day. uh, so the person who having the knowledge on testing, they can able to test the application. So knowledge on the testing means what? So the person who is the ability to identify the problems. So suppose if you are using any mobile, so you have see that there is a less charging, so that is a problem. So you have identified the problem. So what is the solution you will do? You will put the charger and you will use it. So that is nothing but, so whenever I'm using some applications, in that my applications I am facing any problem, so I have to check that problem, I have to identify that problem, I have to report that problem to the concerned person. So here who is a concerned person for us? The developer is a concerned person. So we have to report our problem to the concerned person so that he can able to solve that problem. Okay. So first, I'm not going to cover the topics today. Just I'm going to cover the what are the syllabus I'm going to complete during my training sections. So first we will see what the syllabus we are going to complete in our training section. First we will discuss with the manual testing. So I told you what is mean by manual means. So manual is nothing but a human interaction where I am checking each and every scenario by entering informations manually without using any third party tool. That is nothing but the manual testing. So in my manual testing I'm going to uh, going to cover these topics. First one is the introduction of testing. So what is testing? So why we need testing? Why the tester is important? So in a company, the developer is developing the applications. So can developer can test that applications. So if the developer tests that application, what the problems they are going to be facing. So the type of things I'm going to be covered in the introduction of testing. And verification and validation. So what is the difference between the verification and validation? So what are the types of applications we are going to be testing? So in the market we have different types of applications. So we having the banking applications, we having the ERP applications, we having the healthcare applications, so we having the e-commerce applications. So we having the lot of different types of applications in the markets. So in that type, so what type of testings we are be going to be perform on that type of applications, what is the probability of getting the errors on that applications, how to handle that errors on that particular applications. So what methodology we are going to be following while performing the testing. So what are the testing life cycle we having, what is the development life cycle we having. So I will cover each and every scenario here. So advantages and disadvantages of software development life cycle, what are the principles we are going to be followed while testing the applications, and what are the methodology we are going to be using while testing. So every company will use some methodology. So in olden days there is a waterfalls methodology. Now I can say that 90% of the companies are following the agile methodology. So methodology is nothing but the process which make our duty duty in a correct way. So we are going to be covering this manual syllabus for 5 days. 5 days I will cover this manual syllabus. After 5 days we will start writing the test cases, how to execute the test cases on a particular applications, and what are the as a manual tester, what are the things we are going to be perform, we will see that things. Afterwards we will start a project on manual, and we will use some tools where to report the bugs. So bug tracking tools we can call it, as a test management tools also we can call it. So in test management tools we are going to be using Jira, Azure Board, mm, Rally, service. Now there are the different types of test management tools are available in the market. So in these tools I'm going to cover about the Jira. So in Jira, what are we are going to be maintaining? In the Jira we are going to be maintaining our task board. Our task board, we are going to be reporting the bugs in the Jira, how to report the bugs in the Jira, how to track our bugs, whether the developer has resolved that bug or not. Everything we are going to be maintaining in the bug life cycle. Basically we will follow the bug life cycle. So what is the status of that bug, so we will discuss there, and we will do man manual project at this time. After covering of my manual project I will conduct a mock interview. In mock interview also we can know um, how to answer the questions in a real time. So we are in a real time, if we answer the questions as a bookish it will not work well. So how to answer related to our project wise, how we have implemented in our project, how we have followed in our project, or how we are followed in our organizations, we are going to be taking care of that things. Later we will start with the automation. In automations I am going to cover the tool called as a Selenium. So in this Selenium tool there are the lot of automations tools in the market. There is a Krypton is there, there is a Q, there is a LeanFT is there, QTP is there, there is a Playwright is there, there is a Cypress is there. So a lot of tools are available in the market, but presently we are going to be using a tool called as a Selenium. Why most of companies I can tell most of companies are using these tools. Why these companies are using these tools means it is a freely available on internet. Not only freely available on internet, it is flexible and easy to maintain and easy to understand. That's why most of companies are preferring these tools. So here in this syllabus, I'm going to cover you basic knowledge on types of testing. What are the types of selenium is available in the market? So previously there was a 4 types of selenium is available in the market. So selenium id, selenium rc, selenium webdriver, selenium grid. So we are going to be calling this as a selenium 0. One we are going to be calling it as a 2.1, and this one we are going to be called as a 2.2. And in this one also we having the version of 2.3 is there. Sorry, 3 point some index is there. And this two, mostly 90% we are not going to be used in our real time. Only we are going to be working with the selenium webdriver. So selenium webdriver, the 3 version is there, which is going to be using nowadays. And but the latest one in the market is 4.x. So they having the different version index is there. So better to use uh, above 3 point above 3. 90% we are going to be using 4th version, which is more comfortable for us to work on this tool. And next one is the selenium grid. So selenium grid also I can say that it is used at to generate the reports. At that time we are going to be using this one. So while learning the selenium, I need some language, so which I can communicate with this tool. So automation is a one tool which we need to communicate with some language so that it is easy to understand. So that languages we are going to be preferred is Java. So selenium is going to support many languages. It is going to be supporting the C sharp, it is going to be supporting the Python, it is going to be supporting the Ruby, it is going to be supported the Java, VB script, lot of languages it is going to be supported. But most of companies or most of uh, people are going to be using Java. So why Java? So Selenium is a free source tool which is available freely on the internet. So Java is an open source which is really available. So you can implement. You can communicate with these two tools very easily. So that's why the Java programming is going to be used. So in Java, so basically everyone will have a doubt. So I came from the non-IT background, so I don't know more about any programming languages. So whether I can able to learn this one or not. So when you start learning this automation testing tool, at the initial stage it will be a little difficult. I can't say that it is a little difficult. If you know the basic programming language, any basic programming language, it is easy to work on the automation side. So for that one, what I'm going to give is I'm going to start the Java concepts from the scratch onwards. I'm going to start from the zero position to I'm starting from the zero, and I'm going on upgrading that one. So at the initial stage, I will start like how to initialize the Java. So what is the Java? So how the Java is interacting, how the Java is going to be storing our programs in our system. So what, how to write a simple Java program, so how to run a Java program, what are the concepts in the Java programs we having in that concepts. Also what is a class, what is a class, what is a method, what is a variable, we will discuss it. So I can give a small example. So program is nothing, just a program is nothing but a shelter where we are going to be saving our information. So in Java, we are going to be saving our information in a class. So a class in general for us, we are for us shelter is a house. So for house, what we having in our house, we having a rooms, and we having the furnitures, and we having the main door. So here also for a class will have a main method. It will have a methods is nothing but like a rooms, furnitures nothing but a variables. We are going to be calling as a different types of variables. So like in our houses also we having the different types of furnitures, here also we having the different types of data types. So we are implementing the data types. So these concepts we are going to be using in our program. So to write any program, we have to check some conditions. So whether it is correct or not, for that type of conditions, we are going to be using the condition statements, looping statements. Sometimes I have to repeat that conditions. I have to print a number 5 times, or I have to repeat the 10 times, 20 times. For that one, we are going to be using the looping statements. And arrays we are going to be using. So arrays is nothing but the collection of elements. So I can collect, suppose if I'm having a 6 cup sets, so I have to put it in the same row. So what I will do, I will take a tray and I will put all the 6 cups in a tray. So similarly here also the array is a similar type of elements where I'm going to store all the similar types of elements in a particular platforms. So I will cover that topic also, and operations, what are the types of operations which we are going to be using. um, and most important topic which is somewhat tricky for us. It is everyone will think hoops concept is a big difficult to understand, but if you clearly understand from the scratch onwards, there is no rocket science in here. So it is a simple task of hoops concept. So what is hoops generally? So hoops is an object oriented programming language. So here one object is manipulating into different ways. For example, I can take my example only. So I'm working as a um, I'm working as an employee in one of the organizations, and I'm going to be providing the trainings, and I'm working as a housewife to my family. So one object, so Sarita is a one object which I'm going to be adding as per my requirement. Whenever I'm with my family, I'm working as a homemaker. When I'm working in the organization, I'm working as an employee. Whenever I'm providing a training, I'm working as a trainer. So here the one object is going to be changed as per its requirement. So why I'm changing is as per the requirement. Suppose if I want to do these 3 things, I have to make 3 persons to hide. So what happening, whenever I'm making the 3 person, have to give the salary to these 3 persons. So it is a one big headache for us. Similarly in our memory, whenever I want to store many objects, so my memory is going to be full. So I can't able to store many more data. So that's why what I am doing means I'm going to be creating one object. So one object, whenever whatever the requirement is there, I'm going to be using that object as per my requirement. So whenever I'm giving the training, I will work as a trainer only. I can't able to mingle everything in a single plate. So that's why we having the hoops concept. So in hoops concepts, we having lot of things to cover in the hoops concepts. So what is inheritance, what is a static method, what is object reference, how we are going to be calling, what is overriding, what is overloading, what are the access specifiers, what are the constructors, what is the interfaces, how to use the objects, where to use the objects. So inheritance, so why we are using the inheritance. So inheritance concept, generally I can say that inheritance is a mechanism of getting the properties from the parent class to the child class, I can say that. So parent property, so my father having some property, so I can use his property, so I can use his property as it is, or I can change his property as per my requirement. Suppose my father has built a house of 3 rooms, so he has not did woodwork. So I can renovate it and I can use as per my requirement. So here also the inheritance concept. So whatever the classes we have declared as a parent, we can extend that class into our derived class and we can use that objects. So whatever the objects they have created in the parent class, that objects we can use in our child class also. So we can create the packages, we can create the methods, we can create a uh, we can create methods, we can create a local variables, we can create a global variables, and we can use it in the hoops concepts. And coming to the exception handling, so what is mean by exception? So exception is nothing but I'm getting some problem. So what I will do, the road is blocked, suppose. So I will take a U-turn and I will go. So there is another way to solve that problem. So here also, whenever I'm getting some block, so I'm choosing the next path to reach my destination. So here also we having the exceptions. So in exceptions we having different types of exceptions which is going to be handled by the catch blocks. So whenever we got exceptions, we are going to be using a try block, and that exception is going to be catched by the catch statement, and we have in the final blocks, and we have in the throws which we are going to be using in our programming part. Next, file operations. So in file operations we are going to be discussing how to get the data in from the file, how to put the data into the file. We are going to see the topics. And next one, automation with the database operations. So what is database? So everyone know that the database is nothing but which is storing the data information in some backend. So that backend, what is that backend? That backend is nothing but I can say that SQL or MySQL or Oracle, or nowadays most of companies are using MongoDB. So that is a backend which is going to be store our data. Suppose if I have taken the SQL, it will store in the data as a table structure. So if I am using a MongoDB, it is going to be stored as a collections. So in the collections where we are having the table name with the table. Suppose if I am having employee table, so employee table having the employee number, employee name, employee designations, where mostly we are going to be using with MySQL we are going to be using sorry. And next we are going to seeing with the concepts like selenium components. So in the selenium components we are going to see creating the selenium program. So how to create the selenium program, how to install the selenium, and what is the selenium architecture, how to create the scripts, how to launch the browsers, like we can launch the Chrome browsers, we can launch the Firefox browsers, how to initializing that elements, how to initializing the properties. So how to identify the locators. So locators is nothing but it is a element address, I can say that. So if you want to reach me, you should know my any contact details, like my address or my phone number, then only you can contact me. Similarly here also, if I want to perform any actions on any element, I should know whether that element I should know that element address, so that I can get that element, uh, I can perform actions on that element. So we having different types of elements like text box, list box, link box, check box, radio buttons, web tables, calendars. So how to handle that one? So to handle that one, we can use some key actions. Suppose while working, I want to right click on that on my application. So how to right click on my applications, how to drag and drop my elements. So I can use the action commands, and I can use multiple windows also. I can handle the multiple windows also by using get window handle, switching between the window handles. I can use the like alerts also, whether to accept that alerts. I can use the frames. I can work on the Ajax component. So Ajax component is nothing but previously the web pages is going to be developed with the HTML scripts. Now it is going to be developing with key components. So I can use this key components. I can use while running my applications. I can use weights also. And most important thing, I can work with the test ng. So what is the test ng? Test ng is the next generation. So we are going to be uh, checking the initializations, like how to initialize the test ng. So what is the use of test ng? So in test ng we having lot of annotations. So what the test ng will do, the test ng will generate the reports. How the reports is going to be generate. So based on the annotations it is going to be generate, or based on other things it is going to be generate. We can do, and we can perform the validations also by using the asserts. And later we can work with the automation frameworks. So in automation frameworks we are going to be working with nowadays Cucumber framework. We are going to be working with the Cucumber framework. So we having the keyword driven framework, data driven framework, hybrid framework, Cucumber framework we are going to be working. And we having the page components like page object model and page factory components, which we are going to be working on this one. So I will give the training for whatever the topics I have shown. I will cover all this topic, as well as I'm going to cover the different types of frameworks. So in the test engine we will start with the mini project, and then we will understand the concept. Then we will go for the selenium grid. So selenium grid, which we are going to be using to generate the reports. So at the final stage I'm having the 10 test cases. So all the 10 test cases, it is taking 2 minutes of the time. So what I will do means unnecessary wasting of 20 minutes of time I can connect with the 10 different system. Within the 2 minutes I can run all my 10 test cases. So that flexibility we having, we can run our desired capable systems. We can run it in the remote system also. And then we are going to be working with the build management tools. Like build management tools, we are going to be working with um, with Maven and Jenkins. So coming to the AI tools, what we are going to be working with AI with Copilot. Git Copilot we are going to be working. So how this Copilot we have to implement? So in this Copilot also we having two versions. One is the paid version, one is the free version. So first we will work with the free version. So how this version will be helping us for testing. So how it is helping for manual testing, how it is helping for the automations testing, we will see in our upcoming classes. So this is the small introduction about the selenium, as well as the whatever the topic I'm going to cover in my training section. So I will cover both the manual and automation. So if you're having any queries, you can contact me. That's all. Thank you guys.